Alrighty, welcome to Praying Mantis to the rescue. Hey, this is an on your own problem, so you should have solved the entire problem on your own, and now you have your paper in front of you and you're watching this video to make sure that you are correct. Hey, so here we go. Let's get on with the scenario. You and your family just moved into a beautiful house that is surrounded by a deep forest of trees. Unfortunately, there are hundreds of wasps, crickets, beetles, and black widow spiders. Eek! I don't like them. And you get 28 praying mantises as pets because you heard that they eat wasps, crickets, and beetles, but that their favorite food is the deadly black widow spider. Now, there are a total of 462 wasps, crickets, beetles, and black widow spiders in your yard. If each praying mantis eats the same number of insects, how many insects does each praying mantis eat? Well, this is a division problem, and you have 462 of the insects, and you have 28 of the praying mantises that are going to chow down on these bad boys. So, as you see, I've written my 2s and my 8s, and then I also wrote my 3s down here because I'm going to round this up to 30, right, when I'm estimating. So the very first thing I want to do is go ahead and create my very first area box, and I'm going to put the 462 right inside that box, and I'm dividing it by 28, so my divisor goes outside the box. So first of all, I'm going to look and see, hey, can 28 fit into 4? And no way. Can it fit into 46? And you bet it can, right? But how many times? So I want to use 30 as my estimation, and if I take this and just imagine that there's a 0 behind it, I've got 30 and 60. 60 would be too much, so I'm only going to put it in there one time. But before I do that, I do need to hold that place value, right? Because I'm only going into the 46, so I need a 0 in the 1s column to hold the place value for right here. And that means I'm going to now be looking just at the 46, and now I'm going to go in there just one time, right? So I'm going to put a 1 there, and then 1 times 28 is going to give me 28 here. So I got 28. And then I'm going to subtract. Before I do, I got to look for trouble coming. I've got none here, but lo and behold, I got trouble coming because it cannot take 6 and subtract 8. So I'm going to enlarge this so I got a little more room to work. I'm going to turn this into a 3 and borrow a group of 10 to turn that into 16. And then I have no trouble coming and none here either. So I'm ready to subtract. I will make my next area box and plug it in right here. And then let's go. 2 minus 0 is going to give me 2 right here. And then I've got 16 minus 8, which is going to give me 8 right here. And then I've got 3 minus 2, which is going to give me another 1 right here, right? So now I'm ready to check and see that 28 will not fit into 18. So I am indeed in this 1s column right here. Now, I want to use the 30 again to estimate how many times the 28 can go into 182, right? So I've got, this would be 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, and I've got 180, which is about perfect, right? So I'm going to multiply by 6, right? Because 6 times 3 will give me 18. So I'm going to drop a 6 right here, and bam, there we have it. And 6 times 8 is going to give me 48. I'm going to drop my 8 and carry my 4. So my 8 goes here. And I carry a 4 right up there. And then I've got 6 times 2, which is going to give me 12. Plus this 4 is going to give me 16. So I'm going to drop another 6 and a 1 and get ready to subtract. Before I do, I got to look for trouble coming. And bam, I got it right away, don't I? So I'm going to borrow from this 8, turn it into a 7, and turn this 2 into 12. And then I am all good to go because I have no more trouble coming and none there either. So I will make my next area box and plug that in right here. And now I'm going to simply go 12 minus 8 is going to give me 4. And 7 minus 6 is going to give me 1. And 1 minus 1 zeroes out, so I don't even need to worry about that. So then I'm going to come back here and go, okay, well, let's look here. 28 will not fit into 14. So I would normally put a remainder here, but we're working with decimals, so I need a digit that's smaller than the ones column. So what I need is a tens column. So I'm going to add a 0 here, a decimal point, and a 0 here. Decimal 0, decimal 0, decimal 0, decimal 0, and a decimal and a 0. So now I've created another column, and as I've talked before, anytime you have a digit, you can, in the ones column, you can always add a decimal and as many zeros as you want without changing the value of that number, and that's what we've done right here. So next thing I want to do is go, okay, how many times can 28 go into 140? We're going to ignore this decimal point for a moment and just look at 140 for our estimations, right? And, oh, I want to circle this 4 because we already used that. And then I'm going to come up here to my 3's, right? And I'm going to look at the 3's and try and get as close as possible to 140, right? So I've got 30, 60, 90, 120, and then 150, which is too much. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to put a 4 there, right? Now my 4 is in my tenths column, so I'm actually going to have 0.4, but now for the multiplication, I don't even need to worry about this 0 because 0 times 28 would give me 0 and it does nothing really, right? But I am going to work with this 4, and I'm going to go 4 times 8, so I'm going to come here, and that's going to give me 32. I'm going to drop my 2 and carry my 3, so I'm going to drop a 2 and carry my 3 right up here. And then I've got 4 times 2, which is going to give me the 8, right? But I've got 3 here, so that's going to give me 11. So now I'm going to drop the whole 11 here, right? And then I'm going to subtract. Before I do, I got to look for trouble coming, and lo and behold, I got it right away, don't I? So I'm going to enlarge this so I got a little more room. Borrow from the 4, turn that 4 into a 3, and turn this 0 into 10. And now I am good to subtract because I got no trouble here, none here, and none there. Okay, super duper. So let's go ahead and make our next area box, and I'm going to plug that one in right here. And right here I've got 10 minus 2 is going to give me an 8. This decimal, and this is the cool thing about area division, you can always just drop the decimal as if it's adding and subtracting, kind of like the buttons on a shirt, and that will give you the decimal here. So I'm going to drop my decimal right here, and then I've got 3 minus 1 is going to give me 2 here, right? And then the 1 minus 1 zeroes out, so don't need to worry about that, right? So now I'm going to look here again and go, lo and behold, holy macaroni, I can fit one more 28 in here. If I ignore this decimal and just look at the 28, I've got one more that I can put in there, right? However, I'm in the tenths column, so it would be 2.8, right? So let's go ahead and make a 0.1 here. So I got 0.1, and then I can just take, once again, I don't have to worry about the 0. The decimal point is already lined up, right? So I've got 1 times 28, which is going to give me 28, and I line up my decimal, and then 28, or 2.8 minus 2.8 is going to zero out, right? So that's a 0 there. So now all I have to do is add these bad boys up, right? So let's go ahead and do that right now. And here we go. So once again, I'm going to just draw my line, and I'm adding up in this direction. And I get the 0, 4, and 1 is going to give me 5, right? So I drop my 5 right there. I bring my decimal straight on up, right? And in this column, in the ones column, I have just the 6. So I'm going to grab that 6 and bring it up. And then in the tens column, I've got a 1 that I'm going to bring on up. And right there, 16.5 is your answer. So if we go back to the original problem, right, we've got these 462 insects, some of which are the big bad black widow, right, and we don't like those, and we've got 28 of these praying mantises, right, So how many insects must each praying mantis eat? Well, they're each going to have to eat 16, right? And then a half. So maybe they'll split one. This guy will eat half, and then another praying mantis will eat the other half of that insect, whether it be a black widow or whatever, my friend. At any rate, this is your answer, 16.5. That is how many insects each praying mantis must eat. There you have it, my friends. Hey, if you made a mistake anywhere along the way, no worries at all. Simply pause the video, fix your mistake. That is the fastest way to learn. Until next time, I hope you have a fantastic day. And now, on to counting by the numbers. This is a great strategy for anybody who does not have all their multiplication facts memorized. Counting by threes. Ready? Here we go. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Counting by fours. Ready? And 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. Counting by sixes. Here we go. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. Counting by sevens, here we go. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. And counting by eights, here we go. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. Counting by nines, here we go. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90.